Man, Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
All right, excuse me. Keith Thurman now saying he want to take on Terence Crawford for the right to fight Errol Spence. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase the chance to get notification. We go live or drop a video. So now Keith Thurman trying to get in where you fit in. He was talking about how, it's the Spence and Ugas fight. That was supposed to be him in there fighting Spence. And I know he was in talks to fight or Dennis Ugas before Ugas got on the Spence and Pacquiao card, and didn't happen. People, like I said before, there was a rumor going around saying they offered Keith Thurman the Pacquiao fight, the rematch, before they offered it to Ugas. And then he was in talks to fight Ugas, later that year or earlier than this year, I think it was. Well, yeah, this year I think it was. But whatever reason, it just never happened. So, you could have very well been getting Keith and Spence in April, but or later on this year. But who knows? You never know with Keith. He might take the belt and go hide. He said he want Earl. He said he ain't want Earl, but his energy never said it. But like I said before, there never was a he said it never was a contract sent. He said it never was a contract sent by Al. And I heard that fight, they wouldn't do this. They want to do it down the line. And once again, another marination gone wrong because they both different fighters. But the great thing about it, Keith and Earl they on the same trajectory. Injuries and they might not be the best version of themselves. Even though Errol Spence looked good against Ugas, that's a certain level of fighter. That's a C fighter, of course. When you go back to fighting the C fighters that you was fighting before, you start fighting at least some of the better upper echelon fighters when the knockouts stop. Of course, the knockout's gonna come back. You fighting a certain level of opposition. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So, you fight a certain level of opposition. But like I said before, it is what it is. And Terence Crawford obliges him. If he obliges him, then cool. We got another really good fight. You just want to know if it's enough time for them to turn around in November, December and fight. That's you got to understand is if it's enough time in November, December to turn around. You talking about they fight in July. You talking about August, September, October, November. Maybe get two. You got to go right before Christmas. So you talking about 4 months and 4 months and a half. So, you talking about 4 months and a half. So I'm not sure it's enough time to turn around, especially if you could suffer a cut or whatever. So, but you do need to stay active. And Keith Thurman was already talking about, because he said he was already penciled in to fight the Ugas. Then Spence winner, he was talking about he was supposed to be penciled in to fight he was supposed to be penciled in to fight the winner in November. He wanted to get a fight before November if he could. So, so he was already talking about trying to get a tune-up. So Crawford wanted to get a fight in the summer. He been saying it. Here we go. So Keith one-time Thurman is hoping Crawford will choose to fight him first in a warm-up fight with the winner taking on Errol Spence Jr. later this year for undisputed welterweight champion. So Thurman waiting for that phone call. He said, quote, I expect to have a phone call soon with Al Heyman. We're at the point where we have a little bit of time where I look at the elite fighters. You're always looking at 5 or 6 months window to return. So I think we're still on track to make all that happen. Said Keith Thurman to the PBC podcast. Go to PremierWrestlingChampions.com. They probably got a podcast section. The question is, who are we going to be seeing in the ring right now? I'm just patiently waiting, hoping we can make that the best fight possible. I've done it in the past, and I continue to want to do it. He said, continue quote. He said, the hardest thing about watching the fight Errol Spence and Ugas last Saturday was that it wasn't the fight that I was supposed to be watching. We were supposed to be watching Thurman versus Spence, 2 undefeated welterweight champions. But when I lost and fell short in 2019, that opened up a new window. Spence didn't get the Pacquiao fight. Part of me Just had a reminder, 2019. Even though my health condition was what it was competitive in that fight. I was coming back in that fight. It was only X amount of punches towards victory. And it was a close fight. I still maintain to this day it was a close fight. But like I said before, that's why Pacquiao chose you, because you was inactive and you had health issues and you got hurt by Josito Lopez. So I mean, it's like a gift and a curse. Had you not had that health issues, or had you not, slowed down a little bit, what I'm saying, and got cracked by Josito, he wouldn't even took the fight. So, you almost did it. He said the WBA regular world champion Manis Theonis wasn't on my radar until last Saturday, said Thurman. As much as I like the belts, I don't like the confusion between regular and super champion. Quote, I kind of like the old school way, but a title's a title. They all going down in history. I definitely want to be a champion. When it comes to drawing Boots Ennis, I'm trying to get back to championhood. Continue quote, although he's a tremendous fighter coming up, it's not that I'm overlooking him. I'll look at any contract that is realistic, with realistic date, with a realistic paycheck. That's what it means to be a world class fighter in a prize fighter. Thurman said Keith Warren Crawford in that quote. I'm always willing to step in the ring. I would love to get a big fighter. Maybe we'll keep moving, said Thurman. We'll see how we get advised to get into this year. I think Thurman Crawford. I think the fans are just patient enough to happen if the winner of that faces Spence immediately after, would be a tremendous play of events. He said, I just hope I get that call. I would love to fight Crawford. They're acting like there's a demand, but if you put Thurman in the mix and the winner of that, I think that creates more of a demand. That's just me. You can always rush and do something, or you can build something up. Well, they've been building it for a while, but I agree. I agree with that. That'll make the fight just bigger, especially if they did do it on free TV, which they won't. With me, no matter no matter with me, if it's win, lose, or draw, it's built back up. That's how I feel," said Thurman. He said, "I just wants to be a part of real action. That's all it's about. I'm sorry, but your boy Keith one time Thurman was an undefeated champion of the world before the elbow surgery, before the hand surgery. I'm just addicted to the game." He said, I know what it's like to be at the top of the mountain and strive and conquer once again. So all these fighters, they're just younger versions of myself climbing to the top, and I love it. And that's why we love boxing. So I look forward to whoever they put in the ring. We'll see. But I feel at the age of 33, when you think about moving up in the weight, you look at the welterweight division and how the fighters used to move and fight in multiple divisions. I just love the welterweight division. He said, quote, I love his history and I want to make history here. And I've always wanted to make history here. So my spirit doesn't want to move up. But if I have to stay busy in good fights and maybe have an opportunity for a title was presented, I would have to seriously take it into consideration. But right now, it's not fully on my radar. So he talked about his top three welterweights. I mean, it is what it is. I don't care. So, he said he wanted to fight Crawford. That wasn't the most, just reading it, which I can't get the true context in there, just reading it. But he said he wanted to fight Crawford. And he said that's a good way to continue to build up the fight. Most people say we had enough building up of this fight and we should go right into it. But I mean, like I said before, if you Terence Crawford and you wait all that time for Errol Spence and something else happened with Errol Spence, you waited all that time for that fight and something else happened, then you just ass out. So, like I said before, it's up to them. It's up to them. So, if they want to get it on, get it on. If not, Crawford can wait and you can, if Crawford want to defend against you, he can. But it's a good fight. It's a dangerous fight. Earl Spence, looking at him coming back, uh, he looked dangerous for sure. But I just think the Keith Thurman movement just make it difficult for Crawford a little bit. Just make it difficult. Just make it difficult. So with Earl, man, he made, Keith Thurman make a ton of mistakes, but his movement and speed and his punching power ain't really his punch still there. Where Earl, the last few fights, his punch ain't been there. That snap he got. So they both dangerous. I just think the movement at Keith Thurman might be a problem. If like you out of position with Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? It's you get hit a few times, and you know what I'm saying, he in attrition. I think Keith Thurman still got more of that, you get hit hard by Keith Thurman one time, especially if he active, bro, he can turn your lights out. Errol Spence, he more of an accumulation fighter. And Thurman's turned into an accumulation fighter. He has. But I still think he just still got that piercing power still. I think with him being active and he really healthy and active, man, he got more fear factor with his power. When you mix in athleticism and power, you know what I'm saying? When you mix that in there, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And if he able to get back, you know what I'm saying, and be the best version of himself, being active, turning around from February, they fight in June or July, that's a problem. That speed that he got and that leg movement, Crawford going, in the first, 5 or 6 rounds, or 5.5 rounds, he dangerous. He's a very dangerous fighter. So you got to keep your hands home. You can't make no mistakes. But the thing that will make Crawford dangerous is, like I said last night, his vision. You know what I'm saying? He sees something, he gonna capitalize on it. You throw a punch, you don't come back and bring that hand back to hold the phone, or bring them hands back, or move your head out the way. He gonna capitalize on it. You can't make no mistakes with Crawford. If you do get away with him, he gonna process, and he gonna see that. He gonna make that again. So it's a tremendous welterweight matchup, and that's a great way to segue into Errol Spence fight. It's a great way for Keith Thurman to talk his way back in the mix. But hey, you know what I'm saying? You did lose. You did hold up the division, and you don't deserve this opportunity, honestly. But it's such a good matchup, bro. Such a really good matchup, man. That people say Bud to stop Keith Thurman. I don't know. He's been hurt before and all that, but he know how to survive. But it's risk for Terence Crawford. Because you beat Keith Thurman. You can beat Keith Thurman however you gonna beat him. If you have a dog fight with him, you barely beat him, you overrated, you get cut or something, you get injured, you miss out on the Errol Spence payday, he probably gonna move on. You get him out of there fast, knock him out, or been out there with ease, and then go into the fight. People gonna diminish what you do. You know how they do. But that's a good fight. I always thought that was a good fight, stylistically wise. And I wouldn't mind pulling up to that or buying that one. I ain't gonna lie. Keith Thurman was a good fighter. That was my man's back when he was blowing fire. Terence Crawford became my new man's. Now he blowing fire and keeping that mentality through all the paychecks and through the elite levels of competition. Keith Thurman stopped trying to knock people out. I think around when Josito Sotos Corrales hurt him on the top of the head, that took the dog out of him, along with Al Heyman, paying him for lower level fights because, Al Heyman, nobody like Paula Malignaggi, Adrian Broner, them dudes didn't want to knock on that door. Like he said, Adrian Broner would knock on that door. So Al Heyman was part of the problem for Keith Thurman, man, not getting the fights that he should have got because he didn't force nobody to fight Keith Thurman. Same thing with Errol. So he couldn't pay them dudes to get in the ring with Keith Thurman. So Keith Thurman started getting massive paydays, and he take care of his money. Keith Thurman, another dude, he said he read all his contracts himself. And he take care of his money. He got like a Prius or something. People saying he being cheap. Yeah. I watched an interview on Club Shay Shay with Adrian James. They said, he said you got a reputation for being real cheap. He said most people that talked about me being cheap ain't got no money now. I got money still. So, like I said before, tremendous matchup. Keith Thurman still look physically good. Now, he come back a few months later, man, that twitch muscles might be arrived. But what always gonna hurt Keith Thurman, and fighting, fighting like boxers who understand the IQ of boxing. Now that he declining a little bit, he starting to slow down. That when he loads up and telegraph his punches, that's how Pacquiao was able to knock him down, even though their feet got tangled. And when Bud, can Bud see that open and take advantage of it? That's it. Because Thurman catch you, man, it's gonna be some trouble. And he got some speed. If he learned to just let his punches flow without loading up, he'd be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But he just load up on even shots, and that's why if you watch him hit the bag, well, you see why he got hand and elbow injuries. It's too late to correct now, but hey, it is what it is. I'm down for it. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check the welterweight and boxers playlist. You can check out the PBC podcast. I think on their website, Premier Boxing Champions, should be a podcast tab or something like that. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. All my social media links are in the link tree link description. Or to find me everywhere from Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, all the whole nine there. Also, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, also including in my link tree. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.